All right, so we're going to construct a square inscribed in a circle. So inscribed again, meaning we're going to put it inside the circle. So the first thing we have to do is draw your circle. So pick a radius, any radius you'd like. Just make sure it fits in the white space. And draw a nice, smooth, continuous circle using your compass. So that's where you want to start. And the center point is going to be very important. So I just like to wiggle my compass a bit so I can see the little divot or the little hole created by my point. And then we want to label that center because that center is going to be crucial. We don't want to guesstimate that. We want to know exactly where it's going to be. So I'm going to call this circle D. So that was where my center point was. And then we want to draw a diameter. Anywhere. It doesn't matter. Vertical, horizontal, slanted, you choose. Just go ahead and draw in a diameter. I'm going to draw my diameter like this. Remember, the diameter has to go through the center, and that's why it's so important we got the right center point to begin with. So I'm going to call those 2 points at the end points of this diameter A and B. And then to create the square, it's actually very straightforward. Remember, a square is a combination of parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus. So if we think about this AB as a diagonal, we know, okay, if it has to be a rectangle, our diagonals have to be congruent. Well, what's congruent to another diameter? Or to a diameter? Another diameter, right? So we just need to create another diameter to create a rectangle. But now we not only want it to be congruent, but we want our diagonals to be perpendicular because that's what makes it part of a rhombus. But long story short, let's do a perpendicular bisector. So take your compass. Put your point on either A or B, whichever one you like to start with. And remember, the perpendicular bisector, we need to open up our compass so it's clearly more than halfway. So we want to go past D toward A. So pick your compass setting, make your nice big arc, and then flip it over using the exact same setting. So see how I didn't move my compass pencil in or out? I'm leaving the exact same setting. So we're doing a reflection of that arc. And these 2 points will show me where my second diameter should go. And that diameter will not only be congruent to AB, but it'll also be perpendicular to AB. Right? And then what's cool about this is you might be thinking, wait, you didn't say anything about parallelogram. Well, remember, all of these pieces from D out are a radius, and by definition of a circle, all radii are congruent. So now we have diagonals that not only bisect each other, but are congruent to each other and are perpendicular. So to create the square, we just connect all these points together. So I can call this C and D or whatever you'd like, but just go ahead and connect your 4 points on the circumference of the circle. So I'm going to connect A to C, C to B, and then same here, A to D and D back to B. Oops, I was a little off there, but hopefully you guys are a little more careful than me. And there's our square. All right, you can also see, if you remember the perpendicular bisector theorem, since CD is a perpendicular bisector of AC, CA is congruent to CB, right? So we see a lot of theorems in action, which is actually really cool. But again, this is your square, so this is a great way of getting yourself a right triangle if you're interested in doing that, and also 2 congruent triangles, 2 congruent isosceles right triangles. So lots of things to think about with this one construction. So again, that was the square inscribed in a circle.